Russia arrests more than 1,000 at rallies supporting Putin critic Alexei Navalny.
Here's a summary of the article.
Many were seized before the protests even began, including 2 top Navalny associates in Moscow. The situation with Alexei is indeed critical, and so we moved up the day of the mass protests. Vladimir Ashurkov, a close Navalny ally and executive director of the Foundation for Fighting Corruption, told the Associated Press. Navalny's organization called for the Moscow protesters to assemble on Manege Square, just outside the Kremlin walls, but police blocked it off. Navalny's team called the nationwide protests for the same day that Putin gave his annual State of the Nation address. Putin, who never publicly uses Navalny's name, did not specify to whom the denunciation referred, but Western governments have been harshly critical of Navalny's treatment and have called for his release. Navalny began the hunger strike to protest prison officials' refusal to let his doctors visit when he began experiencing severe back pain and a loss of feeling in his legs. Navalny's physician, Dr. Yaroslav Ashikman, said recently that test results he received from Navalny's family showed sharply elevated levels of potassium, which can bring on cardiac arrest, and heightened creatinine levels that indicate impaired kidneys and he could die at any moment.
This post received a score of 19,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Protesting in Russia seems genuinely risky. These people are brave.
Fuck, if police are looking more and more like sci-fi stormtroopers.
We forget because of how stable most Western democracies have been for these past 70 years, but the stormtroopers were based on real shit, and it never stopped in many other parts of the world.
The way that stormtroopers group together for inspection is based off of Nazi German rallies where the troops would hold the German standard. This was Hitler's iconography of the Roman legion, an empire that would last 1,000 years. It really is a throwback to Rome, one of the first empires. Edit. It's not really a throwback to Rome, but more or less any authoritarian state.
Russian here. I participated in protests in Moscow. Today everything was unexpectedly peaceful. Police didn't beat people and almost didn't detain. But for some reason police was very brutal in St. Petersburg. I have no idea why such difference between 2 major cities. In January it was equally rough everywhere.
You are very brave to protest.
I just can't stay at home knowing they are risking their lives. I saw a video of police using stun gun. It was horrifying, but I didn't see anything that horrifying in real life. It's a little bit lower for women because police don't like to detain women. It looks bad in news. Police is brutal, but it is not as brutal as in Belarus or Myanmar.
Good luck and stay safe.
What CNBC missed is that despite health of Alexei Navalny is clearly the main issue, there is also another important issue. On April 26 there will be a court hearing about labeling FBK as extremist group. If court decides that FBK is guilty and courts in Russia are not independent, it means a lot of bad things. Probably years in prison for people in Navalny's organization. No more investigations about corruption in Russia. Much more difficulties in organizing protests. Many opposition candidates will not be allowed to take part in elections. It will be illegal to donate money to Navalny's team. It is a bit in the shadow, but it is as important as Navalny's health. Many people in Russia compare it with 1937, the worst year of Stalin's repression.
It seems like Putin is only bringing out the big guns now because corruption allegations really startle him. Opposition, like Russian communists, are no threat at all. Overall, I think Putin usually doesn't prefer to go the Stalin way, but if he needs to stay in power, he will do it.
That's always how the Stalin way starts. Out of perceived necessity.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.